Hey, Joe, what are you hoping to see out of guys like Kelvin Benjamin at tight end? Why do you think he can convert there possibly? And Corey Clement and Ito Smith, the tryout running backs as well.
Yeah, so everyone's here for a purpose. All the guys we brought in on a tryout basis, they were guys that were available for us to work with. We just want to get a look at them, work with our system a little bit, and see if there's a potential to add them for a role for our team. In terms of, Benjamin, working a different position today. I mean, we're going to work different guys at a variety of things right now. He's a big guy. He's always been a big receiver. He'll work a receiver. He's working a little bit flex tight end as well. I wouldn't really kind of, pin him down to any one position at this point, Pat. We're going to use the weekend and kind of move him around different spots and see how it works out.
Dan Duggan, The Athletic.
Hey, Joe. First off, important question. You know what was going on with Tony's cleats today?
You know what? First day on the field, I think there's a little bit of an equipment issue. We got to get that straightened out, make sure our guys hit the field with, equipment they're comfortable with. So we'll handle that, kind of make sure it's not an issue going forward.
And then more on football note, what are you hoping to see out of the rookies this weekend? What's the key takeaway you're looking for them to come away with?
I think the biggest thing with these rookies, with any class of rookies, is, it's all brand new to them. These guys, it's their first day in the National Football League, first time being on the grass, first time in our systems and schemes. So really, this is an orientation weekend. This isn't a competition weekend. This isn't a situation where, we're cutting down the team this weekend. This is just get the guys out there, get them moving on the grass, take a look at them, get a better idea of where they are physically. These are guys that have not been with a team now for at least 5 months. So being out there for the first time, in team activities, drills, and the pace and the tempo of a practice as opposed to individual workouts, with a trainer are much, much different. So, all these guys got to get in football shape, which is just part of the process of being out here in spring and working them forward.
Matt Lombardo, Fansided.
Matt, you're on mute.
Hey, Joe, was wondering your first impression of Kadarius, getting him out there in your system with your guys compared to maybe what you would have seen on tape or in pre-draft workouts.
I think with all these rookies, it's about the same, Matt. I mean, our first impression of these guys really was on tape and what we saw leading up to the draft. Right now, we're just trying to get them out there and get them moving. This is all very new for these guys in terms of walking around the building. These guys have as much on their plate in terms of finding out where their locker is, where to eat in the cafeteria, where they shower, as much as getting out there, where they stretch, where individual is, when we blow the horn for group and special teams, where they run to. So it's a learning experience for these guys. Excuse me. It's a learning experience for these guys. They try to get on the field and just move as fast as they can. Like I said, it's just we got to get these guys in football shape, and that's just part of the process.
Patty Traina, Giants Country.
Hey, Coach, can you hear me?
I got you, Patty.
Coach, I'm just wondering, this is an unusual type of setup. You only had, I think, about 22 players here. I know this was more of like a coaching clinic, for lack of a better term. Having said that, were you able to get any more of a sense of where these guys are in terms of their fundamentals, especially those who haven't played since, 2 years ago?
Yeah, I think, with the exception maybe a couple of the vets that are out here who are a little bit further ahead because they have experience in the league. Look, as a whole, every rookie you get every year is a far way from where they're going to be. None of their fundamentals are good enough. None of their conditioning will be good enough. That's our job to get them going. That's why we have to be out there, and we have to train them. We have to practice. We have to help them catch up to where the vets are at. So when we get to training camp, they can compete on equal ground.
Thank you.
Jordan Ronan, ESPN.
Hey, Joe, what's going on?
Hey, what's going on, dude?
How much stock do you put into the tape that they put on the field this weekend at all? I mean, I know you weren't here at the time, but Darius Slayton, he had a horrible first couple days, but couldn't catch the ball. But then it just sort of clicked for him. So do you put stock into what you see on the field this weekend, or do you just look at it as, hey, we're just getting him totally orientated in a way?
Yeah, it truly is just orientation, Jordan. At this point, obviously, we can identify things they have to work on, and we can identify where they are currently. However, I'd say every rookie you get right now, just from the nature of not being on a team for the duration that they've been, training for the draft and all that kind of stuff, they're all far behind. They really are. Most of these guys are all further behind now than they were when they finished their college seasons. So we've got to get them back going, get them caught up, get them in our systems and our schemes, and they got a long way to go. And that's just the truth with any rookie class. In terms of how much we put in the tape, again, we're not cutting down the team this weekend. That's not really what the goal of what we're doing is. We're just trying to get these guys out there, get them moving around. look, I've been part of, rookie minicamps before where you put them out there and it's full competition. You're doing hard one-on-ones and 7-on-7 and team as much as you can. Look, to be honest with you, if we had 70 guys out there, we wouldn't have done anything different today. The focus was on fundamentals, focus on just getting these guys, acclimated to our systems and how we practice. So when they get out there throughout the duration of spring and in training camp, they've got to jump to get going and compete against the vets.
Art Stapleton, the record.
Hey, Joe.
Hey, Art.
Wanted to ask you about a local kid, Frankie Feaster, coming in here as a tryout. Just curious what you saw in him to decide to bring him in to try out this weekend. And, for a small school guy who didn't play last season, I would imagine you guys used some connections and found someone to take a chance on him to come in here and transition to a new position as well.
Yeah, our scout department did a good job digging him up, and we're going to work him at some fullback and see what his special teams value is going to be. He was already out there long snap and pre-practice and putting through some different space drills. So, again, like any player, we're going to look and see how much value they really have. I mean, one of the messages we always give the rookies is, the more you can do. These guys have to come in, they have to have value beyond just, whatever their initial position is. So, like all the rookies, there's a lot of learning today for him, but, I was pleased with his effort on the field today.
As much as it's a competition and not a competition, an orientation, for a guy like that to come in here, do you almost want to see a little competitive juice to see how much this opportunity might mean to him?
I think when you're on the tryout basis, like a lot of these guys are, there's a little bit more that some of those guys sometimes have to show. But to be honest with you, when they come in, we kind of already know what we're looking for. And there's someone who's already on our radar, someone we're already looking at. And when the time comes, sooner or later, if they've shown enough throughout this weekend, then their guy will go to, to give an opportunity.
Thanks, Joe.
Thanks, Art.
Tom Rock, Newsday.
Joe, what did you like about the two offensive linemen you signed, Heggie and Burton?
Well, I think these guys had good tape in college. They're both intelligent players. They've been working very hard. In terms of where they are right now compared to where we plan on them being, throughout the duration of the season, they're a far way away, but they're both working very hard right now and giving themselves a chance to catch up. So I like the way they work today on the field. Rob, Ben, and Flats had those guys going pretty good. It's tough being in a camp where you're only two linemen for an entire duration of a day, but those guys handled it well today.
They were outnumbered by the coaches.
Well, we had to complete the offensive line with a couple guys like Ben who had some experience.
Last question, Pat Leonard, Daily News.
Joe, just to follow up on Tony, it looked like he and Williams didn't do the conditioning weight. Were they dealing with any kind of injuries, or did you guys back them off there, or what was that?
You know what, Pat? I got to check with Ronnie. I looked over at the end, and they were at the trainers. So it's something Ronnie was talking to them about. So I'll get the injury report when we're done here. We'll see where we go from it.
One more, if you don't mind. Did you have any guys who were eligible for this who decided not to come to it?
No. All of our guys who are eligible or available are here.